Welcome to the She's an Asset podcast, Maine edition. I'm your host, Autumn Schmidt, and I'm very excited to bring you this new chapter where I will be highlighting and interviewing the women of Maine and New England who are making an impact. I hope you enjoy. Welcome to the She's an Asset podcast. I'm super excited to bring you today's guest. She's a friend of mine. She's been a supporter of mine. Her name is Marlo, and she owns Mindie's Munchies. Marlo, can you tell us a little bit about you?
So I moved here about 10 years ago. I met my husband in New York, and he had children that were still in high school. So I moved up here, and it's been wonderful. Full-time about 10 years now.
Do you like Maine?
I love Maine. It's so beautiful. Who doesn't love Maine?
I know. I'm very biased.
Yeah, well, winter's a little tough. Honestly, winter is definitely a little tough. But
how is it compared to New York City?
So New York City, it would snow, but it really didn't stop anything.
Okay.
It never really stopped. Once or twice, that's it.
That's it.
A year, if that. Yeah, it just kept going.
Okay.
The island, the outskirts is a little different, but where I lived in the city, it was, you just kept going.
Got it. And so you own Mindie's Munchies.
I do.
In Falmouth here.
Yes.
And can you tell me how you got into that?
I worked in the medical field. I was a practice manager for different orthopedics and then radiology.
I didn't even think I knew that.
Yeah, on the Upper East Side.
Really?
Yep.
Did you love it?
I loved it. It was like a family to
Really?
me. I was there for 15 years.
Wow.
It was in my neighborhood. So my UPS guy at my house was my UPS guy at the store. So where the city is so big, it was still like it was my neighborhood.
Wow.
Yeah, very neighborhoody.
And so, okay, so you went from that, and then did you retire?
No, I moved here, and I did remote work for a little bit before it was even a thing.
Oh.
Yeah, back in like 2016 or 17, 15, 16. And then that kind of came to an end. It was just time to come to an end. And then I got a job as a practice manager here in Portland.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I did not know this.
Yep. Yep. Allergy and asthma.
Okay.
Nice place to work.
Yeah.
COVID kind of just took its toll.
Got it.
It was right in COVID, and it was just too much.
And then, so, okay, now go back. So you've been a fan of Mindie's Munchies for 20 years.
20 years.
And then, so why did you decide to get into this?
So when I first moved here, and it's funny because on Facebook, I get all the memories. So when I first moved here, I was like, this would be a great place for Mindie's Munchies. So they're friends of my family. So I reached out to them and said, I'd love to open a store here. And they said they weren't ready yet. I said, okay, I get that. And then that was kind of it.
Yeah.
It kind of went away. I shared things of theirs. I always bought stuff for people in the holidays and whenever I would ship, send stuff to people. And then I got sick and made me kind of stop and say, is this what I want to do with my life? And the night I decided I can't do this anymore, the very next day on Facebook was, we're now franchising. So of course I call Harry and I'm like, what's wrong with you? Why didn't you reach out to me right away? He forgot. With everything going on. And I just saw it as a sign that this is the way I want to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to share a little bit about how you got sick?
Yeah, it was a shock. There's no cancer in my family whatsoever. And I was having my period for months and months and months. And I had to push the doctor to do something. And they took an ultrasound, they did this, they did that. It was cancer, it wasn't cancer, went back and forth, this, that, and the other thing. So it was like a month of positives and negatives. And then it was positive for endometrial sarcoma.
Oh, wow.
So it's a rare cancer.
I was going to say, that sounds
it's a very rare cancer that is 95% curable.
Okay.
So that was very good.
Yes.
So I actually went down to Boston and had my surgery down there. And now I'm a year and a half out.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And so, but that cancer, when you hit that low, could we agree it was a low?
It was a scary low.
A scary
low. There's been lows, you have lows. This is a scary low.
And so you have this scary low, and then it causes you to reflect? What happened?
It wasn't really a reflection. It was more of going forward. What am I going to do going forward? It wasn't so much reflecting back.
Okay.
It was more of, okay, is this what I want to do? What do I want with my life? It was more of that, not looking back. I don't look back.
Yeah, I love that.
I don't look
That's a pretty big piece of advice for people. A lot of people spend a lot of time looking back, Marlo.
I don't look back. I can't.
Yeah, she's like, I can't look back. Okay.
Keep going forward.
I love that.
Yeah.
And okay, and so you're like, is this what I want to do? Do I want to continue being this practice manager? Is that kind of what came up?
Yes, I was at a different position, a different job, but yes, it was, do I want to, continue with the insurance field, I was more in RCM, which is the billing aspect of it at this point. And it's just getting worse and worse. And it was just, just always aggravating. And I was like, you know what? Making kids happy with chocolate, calling an insurance company, no brainer.
Yeah.
So, I spoke with my husband about it, and, he was all for it.
He's incredible, by the way. He's a huge supporter.
Lucky girl.
Yeah.
Lucky girl.
Yeah.
A true partner.
I love
We're partners.
And for those of you who are wondering, so a little bit of background on us. So, and this is why I just love you so much, because when I was hosting my first ever She's an Asset event, we got close. I don't know, at the time when I called you, I think I was up to like 80
You
people.
were high, yeah.
And I said, hey, I'm going to have like almost 100 women. We need chocolate. And what do you think about sponsoring a chocolate table? And you didn't even hesitate.
No.
And
I was so excited.
Right.
I was sitting right there. I was so excited.
It was incredible. You didn't even hesitate. You put so much thought into how to best serve these women. And then your husband came, and he supported you and supported the entire event. And he was just absolutely incredible. And I love coming into the store, and he'll pop in, and he's just really supportive.
He's incredibly supportive, and that was actually an awesome experience. Seeing it not once but twice in one day. Yes, he's incredibly supportive.
Yeah,
indeed.
It's wonderful. And not everybody has that partnership, which I really would like to ask you, as far as you transitioned into being an employee and now you are an entrepreneur. Would you say that having a supportive partner has been...
I couldn't do without him.
Yeah.
I mean, he has his full-time job and he has an office in the back, but just knowing he has my back, knowing that I can rely on him, whether it's financially, emotionally, physically, any and every way, he's just right there.
And I think that's important too, is I think a lot of times what we're seeing online might not necessarily be the truth. And what we're seeing is we're just seeing people grinding it out all by themselves. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I do think it happens. But from what I can see and what I know about myself and many other, entrepreneurs, they have some sort of support. And it could be just one person who just believes in them,
He believes in me. My family is very behind me as well. They have tremendous faith in me and trust in me doing the right thing. And they've all been incredibly helpful.
And would you say, talk to me a little bit more about that. Like, how impactful has that been for you, and for you to be able to, maintain your resilience, like, throughout this business journey?
Oh, absolutely. On down days, I call my mother, and she, I'm her sunshine. So she completely supports me, which is fantastic. My older sister, both my sisters are fantastic. They support me.
Yeah.
My brother came up here right before we opened to support me. And I just know that they're there too. We may not speak all the time because we all have our busy lives, but
of course,
the love of my family, I just know it's there, and that helps. Like, there's no questions asked.
And I think I just would like to highlight that for our listeners. And it's like, some of us don't have family that are like that, and some of us do. But we can also put people in our lives that are like that. And I think that that's really important. And I can speak for myself as somebody who's, from my family and where I'm coming from, like, I'm really outside of the box here. Like, I'm kind of like doing this thing, and it's different. And like, a lot of people are like, who does Autumn think she is?
Oh, no.
Oh yeah. And so
she should think who she is.
And so I have been very strategic with who I'm placing in my life and who I'm making sure that I have that support system. And I just think that's really important for anybody, no matter whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're not, doesn't even matter.
Well, I'll tell you, I have a couple of really good friends up here, and it was a very busy time over Passover and Easter. And it came down with something that just debilitated me. Like, I was back on the floor in the back.
I remember.
And I called up friends, and they came in, and they chipped in with Troy and they made the night a success. So I'm lucky to have a couple of these really good friends here.
And it matters.
It matters. To think I'd made friends in my 50s is like, really? But it's important, and I know that they're there.
And I think that helps with our resilience, our ability to be able to pick up and keep going.
Yeah, I absolutely surround yourself with those positive, good people that love you and don't, just want good for you. They just want you to be successful.
Yeah, 100%. As I think, especially in the hard days, it's what helps us keep going.
Absolutely. And the need to follow this through for myself is definitely thrown in there a little bit.
Yeah, of course, for all of us.
I want another one, and then I want my husband to leave his job and work with me full time, which will be funny. But it would, we spend so much time together anyway, so that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Marlo, so talk to me a little bit more about chocolate. Like, why do you love chocolate? Tell me about the business.
I love the end product.
I do too, girl. I do too.
Basically, I love the end product. I never thought I'd be involved in chocolate in my life. And it was more of all of this.
Yeah.
It's the just all of it that I loved. And I love dark chocolate. It's my favorite. And I love Oreos, and I love everything. So I just love it.
What's your favorite candy that you make?
That I make? Currently, it is the Cookie Butter Crunch cup.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's the same stuff that's in your favorite. Your favorite.
Which is the Snickerdoodle. So if anybody's looking, this is my absolute favorite. I've already eaten one. It's like 9 a.m. I'll be eating all of the rest. Everything I can. So tell us more what it is.
That one used to be Reese's Pieces pretzel. That was very, very good.
Yeah.
Because we make the peanut butter cups with fluff and jelly so fresh. They're just unbelievable. It's just so good. Those are my favorites, I'd say.
What do you think like your hottest commodity is? Like, what do people come in? Like, what do you sell out of a lot?
Snickerdoodles.
Do you?
People love the Snickerdoodles. People love some of the bin candy. Like, people come in and buy like 2 pounds of some of this bin candy. I'm like, wait, you just took my whole, all my product.
Like what kind of bin
adults.
candy?
They're adults.
Yeah, but we grew up on penny candy.
I see. I never heard that term before.
Oh,
I heard it for the first time about a month ago.
Really?
Yeah, I never heard that before.
So, like in Maine, I can't believe you didn't have this in the city, but in Maine, what we would have is stores, and each piece of candy was a penny.
Wow.
So you would come in, and that's why, like, you'd come in and you'd put a bag and you'd grab like 5 here, whatever. And even if you only had 25 cents, whatever, you got 25 pieces of candy.
Okay. Yeah, no, I never heard that before. About a month, maybe 6 weeks ago, someone came in and said that, and they were from the Jersey Shore. So it's down there.
It's down there. It just skipped New York City.
It skipped New York City. I was on the island as a kid. So,
okay.
But yeah, I never heard of that.
So what do they buy? Like, tell me what's a popular item?
A lot of people, all the gummies, but the adults actually really like the chocolate nonpareils, the dark chocolate.
That's my favorite.
They come and literally buy like 2 pounds of it. I have 2 or 3 customers that just keep coming in for that.
Do you make that?
No. I've made a version of it, but it's best to leave it.
To leave it? She's like,
it's best to leave it there.
It's best to leave it there.
Yeah. It's not broke, don't fix it.
Do you make like this platter? Do you make all of this?
Absolutely everything.
Oh my gosh.
Not the core of it. I don't make the pretzels. I don't make the Rice Krispie, and I don't make the Vienna finger or the Oreos, but everything
that you put together.
I put it all together. Everything gets hand dunked, hand topped, famous drizzle. Everything gets drizzled.
Really?
Oh
yes. Yeah, you're right.
Everything gets drizzled.
Everything gets drizzled. I never even noticed that. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And so tell me something really hard. Is there anything really hard about the candy business that you've had to overcome?
Nothing too specifically to that, besides sometimes humidity, like but
I wouldn't think of that.
Yeah, humidity. It gets it blooms the chocolate before it's supposed to.
Really?
And so that's been some physical things here. Definitely, there's been some challenges. Humidity. Right now we have a huge problem with the sun coming in and melting our chocolate.
Oh.
Big problem. We've done a couple things. We're gonna have to figure out something permanent.
Really?
Yeah.
See, this is all stuff that we would
Yeah.
have no idea
Who would have
about.
thought? Yeah, honestly, it was just like, wait a second, that's melting the chocolate. We put up
Wow.
shades, we put up this, so we got to figure. We're still working through that.
Working on that.
Yeah.
And now, where do you feel? Can you explain a time? Because I can explain a time very like personally at my event where you were so impactful. This chocolate was so impactful. But like, do you have like an event that you've done, or do you have like a time where you've had a customer come in where you just knew you're like, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing?
There's been plenty of those when whether it's a kid or an adult, they come in and they start clapping. They just start clapping. And I'm just happy. Like, but I've never been in here. Oh my God, this is so fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Every time. And then honestly, the parties with the kids, I just love the kids. I do. I enjoy them very much. So,
Marlo, what is your why? Why are you doing this?
Because I need to make a living.
No. That was probably the most honest entrepreneurial answer ever. But I mean, like, why chocolate? Why here?
I guess because again, it's something. It's fun dipping its stuff in chocolate all day, and then having customers. I love customers.
Yeah.
I love the face-to-face interactions.
Mm-hmm.
As a kid, my father had a deli down in the Virgin Islands, and I worked there for a year or two after college, and I loved it.
Oh,
that was my favorite job. So when I first came, and then I got into the medical field. So when I first came here, I felt, all right, we need a New York deli here. So that was the first thing we were looking at. Troy and I went around and looked, and it didn't pan out. So believe it or not, retail is something I like.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot more than I expected, but I like being out here and talking to the people.
You like the people, and then giving them food.
I love giving food.
Yeah.
I give too much.
But you know what? I love that. And so here's what I would love for you to offer as we wrap up, wind down. A couple of things. My first question is, I would really like for you to share what would be a piece of advice that you would give a woman who's listening to this, she's in the trenches right now. Maybe she's working that job that was sucking the soul out of her, and she's afraid to leave. Or, let's not wait until she gets cancer to give her that scare. What would be what's your advice to her?
So, I just believed in Mindie's Munchies. I think my belief in Mindie's Munchies, and also my belief in a New York deli, made me courageous enough to say, all right, I'm not going to have a salary. I'm going to put my life savings into a store. It's more finding something that you love and going for it.
What did you believe? Tell me what you believed in Mindie's Munchies, but what did you believe in it? And what did you believe about the New York deli?
So Mindie's, the product is just unbelievable. It speaks for itself. It's just really, I mean, again, I used it as much as I could. It speaks for itself. It's fun. So there was no question that this would be a hit. Delis, I grew up my father was in the meat business, and I just enjoyed I was only allowed to work the register. He wouldn't let me near, I was not allowed to, and he was on St. Thomas, I was in St. Croix, but he wouldn't let me near any of the slicers. I was allowed to do some potato salad here and there. But again, it was the talking with the customers. I liked it. And I liked getting the cash.
And I like getting the cash. What's your favorite meat? Do you have a favorite?
Again, he was in the meat business, so we grew up on a lot of meat. So sliced meat, it would be ham.
Really?
Yep.
No kidding.
Yep.
I have to tell you, so so obviously we know this is Maine. I don't know of any Italian groceries where they're slicing the deli. And if you know of one, or if anybody who's listening knows of one in Maine, I want to know about it.
Not right in front of you. I haven't gone. There's a couple delis in Portland that I've heard about. I just don't know if they do that there. I haven't seen it here.
Well, I've gone to Magucci's, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if they do that there. So anyways, I go down to New Jersey. I got a girlfriend down in New Jersey. She brings me, the first time I ever go down there, Italian family. And I really, I'm Italian, but I thought that I thought I was authentic. And then I'm like, we are not authentic because we don't know, right? So we go down, and she whips out, we go to this deli and she gets these meats, right? And then she gets provolone cheese. And I'm
And
like,
they're like sliced.
yes.
Nicely placed.
Right. And so we go to her house and she's like, Autumn, you want a snack? And I'm like, fuck yeah, I want a snack. I'm Autumn. Like, I need a snack. I'm always eating. You know that. Every time I come into Mindie's Munchies, I'm eating. And so she gives it to me and it's like this. It's not prosciutto, but it's this other like.
And sliced really thin.
Yes. And then we ate it with provolone. No,
provolone.
we ate it with provolone. And it was the best thing I've ever had in my life. I'm like, we don't have this in Maine.
So that's in New York and New Jersey. There's delis and then there's bagel stores.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like it. You go in and it's just, thing upon just anything you can imagine, and every kind of salad you can imagine, and every kind of meat you can imagine, every kind of salad, and it's just so fun.
That's incredible.
You go there and you wait online. You wait on the very long line for the lox or for this or for whatever it is you want. But that's why we don't have it here, and that's why I thought, a New York deli would do great here, or a bagel store, but it just didn't pan out. No. And actually, so I was thinking about it, and then place opened up right in my town that it's like a gourmet deli. The name is just escaping me right now.
It's okay.
Right in Cape Elizabeth, right by the high school. And I'm like, all right, they took care of that.
Yeah, they got it.
They got it.
Yeah, and I will say, we do have some chocolate stores in Maine, obviously, but yours, Mindie's Munchies is very different, and I don't even know how to explain it.
I think it's fun.
Yeah,
Well,
your colors are my colors, right? Like
right?
This pink is my brand pink, so I'm like, this is awesome. Even your bathroom is like beautiful. Yeah, I'm like peeing and I'm like looking at like chocolate quotes.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't create this.
Yeah.
But I think Mindie's a genius with some of the things that she comes up with.
Yeah, totally.
Like just genius. So, I'm very fortunate to have had that opportunity to do this. Yeah. Very pink.
Very pink. And so, Marlo, you do other things other than having, like, we can come into your store, which is in Falmouth, right near Goodwill, which I've said is probably going to be the best Goodwill in Maine.
So what I've heard, it is. I hear people have got some pretty expensive watches and golf clubs.
Really?
I heard it's the Goodwill to go to. And I got to tell you, standing there watching people go in and out, it's like ants. But everybody walks out like with stuff, not just it's just carrying stuff. So I think it's a very successful Goodwill.
So that's where you're located, but you do so much more than just have the store. Like, can you tell us more about things that you do?
So we do parties here. This is actually, we're in the party room. We do kids' birthday parties. We do something called Ladies' Night Out, but it could be a book club. It could be a baby shower, which we've done a few of. It could be anything you want. We do everything for you. So you come and you have whatever food, whether it's a birthday party, you have pizza. Adult parties, we have sushi. It's all there for you. Then you dunk your chocolate. We clean it all up. It's just all done.
You dunk chocolate, so if we come here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So the birthday parties. That's the main point of it. Yeah.
Well, I thought it was just to eat the chocolate.
No. Each kid gets a plate of all different items. Or, some of the things you see: Oreos, pretzels, graham crackers, marshmallows, Rice Krispie treats, and they dunk, and then they put sprinkles on it, and they're very creative. Some of the things that some of these kids have done are like creative.
And now, do you like cater? Do you do events? Like, what do you do?
So no, don't cater. As far as events go, we would do something like platters. Something like this. I've had a few people ask me to cater, and we would do something like this. We do, it could be custom made. It doesn't have to be this. This is just one of our our go-tos.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we could call you and say, hey, I need a platter. Now, do you deliver?
We do deliver. Not about 5 miles out, 7 miles out.
Okay.
But we're on Uber Eats and we're on
DoorDash.
So
awesome.
So they're in and out of here quite a bit. We ship.
You ship?
We ship.
Okay. And like, what are some of like the most popular like reasons people come in and grab a platter or grab like a gift?
Going to someone's house for dinner. They want to bring a little something.
Oh, what a good idea.
Yeah, going to someone's house for dinner. I just had someone in this morning saying there's a prom on Saturday, what could you make me? What could you do for me? Birthdays, just any reason, any occasion. We've got stickers for every occasion.
You do?
Stickers for every occasion.
I love
They're fantastic. Yeah.
And so, Marlo, where can we find you? Where can we find Mindie's Munchies online? What's the social medias?
So it's Mindie's Munchies of Maine. Both of them. Mindie's Munchies of Maine. Our website is www.mindiesmunchies.com, and you could see everything that we do there.
All right, and so that's how we can get a hold of you.
Yep, there's a link to Maine, and my contact information is there.
Or we can just come into the store.
Or you could just come into the store.
And we can eat all of. Well, actually, nobody come in and eat these because they're all mine. No,
I was here early making a fresh batch just for you, and then strawberries. Strawberries is
speaking delicious. Of that, let's real quick. We need to talk. Are you doing the strawberry Dubai?
I am. We're doing Dubai. We call them Dubai Delights.
Oh,
and they're delicious. And we're doing a cookie butter delight, which has again your favorite cookie butter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going very well. We have a lot of repeat customers, and I do a strawberry Dubai cup.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so after this podcast, I'm trying it.
I will make you one.
Oh Absolutely. My gosh, I'm so excited. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Marlo. Thank you for being on here.
It was wonderful.
Love your store, love your chocolate, love your heart, love that you support women, men and women and children, but she's an asset. So obviously we really appreciate that. Everybody go to my social, She's an Asset, or the Autumn Clifford, or anywhere on the same on Facebook. And I'm going to take a video of this Dubai cup, and I'm really excited about it. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the She's an Asset podcast. If you wouldn't mind, could you please share this out? The only way we grow and I can get this out to as many people as possible is with your help. So we're kind of in this together. And the good thing is I know you have my back. So I want to say thank you and ask for you to share the show. And if we're not hanging out in the socials, I hope that you'll come and hang out with me. I'm Autumn Clifford pretty much everywhere. Thank you so much. See you next time.